How cool is that? I planned the whole wedding, just so you know.
It's really like groundbreaking information.
Don't you think we should renew our vows?
I can't even get in the car now without her telling me where to go, but I planned the whole wedding.
I'm here for the vow renewal because I
Yeah.
want to see these planning skills now that we're like,
Okay.
we have more.
I'm out, just so
Yeah.
you know.
All right, welcome to Never Offside. It's the last episode of 2025, so we decided to go with the greatest of all time in hockey's wife, Janet Gretzky. So yeah, here we are. It's happening. Julie really manifested this.
We manifested this the start of the inception of this podcast. We kind of made like a short list of what do they call them, like unicorns or white whales or whatever they call it in the podcast world. And here we are. So it took a journey, but Kat got it done. Kat is connected through all spheres of life, and the LA connections came
I was
through.
gonna say LA connection started with the Kings, and we got through mutual friends, and then got to Janet, and now she's just so much fun to talk to. So it's a really fun way to end 2025. This is funny. Okay, so it doesn't matter how many times we do this podcast. Once the hour mark starts to before we start shooting, the pit in your stomach, like, do you get? I
Every
was
time.
so nervous.
It's what I imagine my husband feels like before he hits the ice every time. No, I'm kidding. But it's
like that
there's
hour.
something. But today's was exceptionally I don't know, pity, because it was just like, but I knew how wonderful she was going into this.
Yeah.
But I still, it still like hit me like, and kind of like heart thumping. And also it's our last episode, and I kind of like, you kind of remember like what we've done so far. And
Yeah,
here
and
we
there's-
are. It's surreal.
There's so much to talk about too, so you get a little nervous in that regard. Like you'll forget like some of the big things you wanted to talk about or something like that. But yeah, I definitely was feeling that. I was feeling it.
Yeah. It's amazing. So.
Yeah. The only time I didn't get nervous with an episode of ours was you, me, Jeff, and Ty. Like that was the one time I was.
Oh
like,
yeah, that was a free for all, and
yeah,
we
you're
were
in
gonna
our
be
living
fine.
room. Like
Yeah, we were
No.
gonna be fine.
Yeah. This one though, just we've done. I counted. We've done like 33 episodes or something like that, and just every time, it just that hour mark starts, and it's
Yeah,
whew,
it was.
right?
It always hits. So without further ado, here is our conversation with the one, the only Janet Jones Gretzky, and a surprise guest appearance from her husband, the great one, Wayne Gretzky. Well, she needs no introduction. She knows exactly what it's like to stand beside greatness, all while creating her own. From Hollywood, hockey dynasties, a royal wedding, being a mother to 5 amazing children, and a fabulous grandmother to 7 grandchildren. Please welcome the woman beside one of hockey's most iconic legends, Janet Jones Gretzky. Thank you so much for joining us.
Girls, it's such a fun pleasure to do this with you. I'm not as experienced as Wayne in all these podcasts and everything, but I am experienced in being a wife, mother, grandmother, and kind of organizing it all.
I was going to say in our intro, shout out Wayne for letting us pluck you off the golf course, but we got to thank him in person, so that
Yes.
was nice too.
We got around, and it's beautiful here in Florida. And as you know, Julie, playing with the Panthers and everything, it's quite a pleasure to play in this type of weather.
It's
Because
amazing.
If they're not playing hockey, they can either play outside with the kids or they can play golf.
Well, that's what Wayne was telling us. You guys were doing a lot of fishing over Christmas, and that's what my boys and we were doing on Christmas.
Well, we're not quite the fishermen like our grandboys. And all the young kids, they love it.
They love it.
They can't get enough of it, which is, it's crazy because, neither Wayne and I grew up with all that, but
Yeah.
they love it here in Florida, and it's been it's been a great way to get the children outside instead of in front of computers and laptops
Totally.
and phones and things like that. So it's really nice to see a kid on a dock or on a boat with a fishing pole.
It definitely is. I feel that deeply. Okay, so Wayne was giving us a little insight into Christmas. You guys just came fresh off of that. Kat has been talking to you. Thank you. Like, this is like the vortex of the week where nobody knows what day it is. Everybody's like, what are we
It's
doing?
like an airport. You just don't know what time of day, what day.
Yeah. You
Kind of walking around going, okay, it's Christmas is Thursday, right? Or
Yeah.
Saturday? I mean, it's like, yeah, you're confused, but it's crazy when you go into the malls and the shopping arena. It's like nutty. You just, I mean, one person's crazier than the next. You're carrying so many bags. It's like, I mean, I thought I retired from being Santa Claus, the helper.
yes.
For like 40 years. I thought, oh, now I can just sit back. But then all these grandkids came. It's like before I could even turn my head, I had 7.
Yeah.
So-
Well, it sounds amazing. And your 104-year-old mother being there is just the biggest blessing. And so that just must be so magical. But you are Santa's helper, and the gift, I just imagine a Janet Jones Gretzky Christmas is above and beyond. You're cooking, all the gifts, all the everything. What are you getting Wayne for Christmas? Like, what does one get?
Cole.
Cole.
Aw.
No. What do you get Wayne?
I mean, I have the hardest time just shopping
Get
for.
Wayne. I think
my
I got him
Jeff.
a nice, I think Santa brought him a nice perfume.
Okay.
No, from Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
Because I remember, well, it's kind of weird to say this, but I remember being in a store and I was like, what are you wearing? And he said, I believe it was Imagine or something Louis Vuitton. And I'm like, I'm going. So I got him perfume and he got a couple little outfits. As being that I'm his kind of like personal stylist, I figured, well, here we go. I can help with this, and got him a couple little more outfits because he does appear on TV every once in a while now. Let's see what else. Black licorice.
Oh,
Black licorice.
is that a thing?
That's his favorite. So
Yeah.
I got him a lot of black licorice.
What'd he get you?
What did he get me? You know, it's been so many years that it's like, I don't know how many times during the week we have to say to each other, don't get me anything. I don't want anything. I'm so busy getting other things. Just don't worry about getting me anything. I mean, we're so blessed that, you know, Christmas is every day, just waking up and everybody being healthy. And like you said, my mother being 104, unfortunately, we don't have Mr. and Mrs. Gretzky anymore, Walter and Phyllis, but a lot of memories. But to know that my mom is 104, it's like, I'm so braggadocious with it. I'm like, my mom's 104. My mom, and then I like think back, well, they're probably looking at me going, how old are you? And I'm like, well, I'm one of 7, but and I'm at the end, but she's wonderful. I play cards with her every morning. I play bridge with her. Gin. Yeah, bridge is too complicated, but she's really good, really competitive. That's probably where I got my competitiveness from, because at 104, she's on it.
I love it.
She can play the game. So that's good, because it's good for her to keep, you know, sprite with her numbers and her mind and everything. But it was quite, you know, this is the first time we've really celebrated Christmas in Florida.
Oh,
It's
wow.
in California or St. Louis. Being that my mom, you know, lives in St. Louis now. But all the years we raised our kids in California, that's where our Christmas was. So this was our real first time that we were all together. Paulina and Dustin decided not to go ski in Aspen. I guess there was no snow.
Right.
So we were lucky to have them. So we had Christmas Eve at our home. I cooked, and then Christmas Day at their home. You see people that are kind of by themselves, and you hate that. You know what I mean? Because you know, you don't want to get like take it for granted that you're blessed with so many friends and family around.
I have to like go back and say, when this podcast before last season came to fruition, we kind of made like our wish list of guests, and you have always been at the top of our list. We've been circling this one for a long time. So to end our year with you on the podcast is just kind of a dream come true, and we're very grateful. So we're just so happy.
Oh, well, let's
If you both start crying,
Yeah, I might. I'm like, this is surreal for me.
No, it's so nice. It's so nice to feel like you're welcome. Like, thank you, girls, for welcoming me on. I always seem to be kind of in the background when Wayne's doing it, and I'm like, well, why didn't you say this? And why didn't you do that? But here I am on the spotlight, here you got to do it. But, it's fun. It's fun to share your stories. Of course, I'm going to forget a million of them, it seems like I've had a lot of lives. I knock on wood, that I'm healthy, that my children are healthy. I mean, I've been on the other side of it where, I've lost 2 sisters to breast cancer, which is so sad, and so sad for their families. So I get how blessed we are, and health is really the most important. And to sit here and have 5 healthy children, 7 healthy grandchildren, a healthy husband, a loving husband, for so many years, I believe we are getting towards that point of what are we, a minority of being married for like 38 years, I guess. Is it 88? Is that?
Yeah, you're approaching 40.
We're coming up on our 38th, I believe.
Well, in talking to leading up to this, you and Wayne seem just like such a fun, sporty couple. You guys love hanging out, going golfing. How many times a week did you say?
In this weather, with him not traveling, we can play like 4 days a week. And
so lovely.
We have a lot of friends, a lot of, I have a girlfriend, Bridget Koch, that's become my BFF golf friend, and she's just great. We're the same age, and we take on all the guys. So, anywhere from, Dustin, Wayne, Brooks Koepka, Keith Yandel, anybody that comes in town that wants to hang with Wayne, they get to take on Bridget and I, and it's not easy.
Oh my God.
We give them a game,
Okay, so when did you get
hustle
into
'em.
golf? Because all of the guys always play golf in the off season and things like that. And then was it just sort of like you can't beat them, join them, sort of start playing?
Yeah, and I grew up a real tomboy. So I played like baseball for like 10 years when I was younger, but then I went to become a dancer, and I kind of attacked dancing like it was like a sport to be competitive in. I probably got a little more serious about 10 years ago.
Okay.
Being that we're older and we just love, it's actually, Wayne and I play all the time together because I am a tomboy and I play all the reindeer games out there with all the guys. And what I mean by that, we have all like a little action, it's called, and which makes golf fun and competitive. And
So what's one of the games?
Yeah, what is the reason?
well, you can play a game called Nassau, where it's interesting, or you can play overall, or you can play a lot of them, or maybe Bridget and I might wheel like
I need to look these up.
four guys, and so that's fun because
It's a game within a game.
it is a game, and it's very competitive, and we just have a lot of fun with it. And they have to play their best golf to beat us. So
It's funny. We have a lot of friends in common from LA and the
Yeah.
Kings and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So in talking to some of our mutuals, you've taken down quite a few people that I know.
that's in my truth and a lie game.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding. No, yeah, that's okay. You know what? That's okay.
Yeah, they were all men too. They were all men that told me that you.
I love it. Hold your own out there. Well, it's awesome.
You
I
have
love
to, because they don't mind beating you. That's for sure. So you gotta give it your old Girl Scout effort.
Yep.
I love it. Okay. Well, going back before you met Wayne and everything, I kind of want to get a little bit more. The internet is a wild world out there, but you, before hockey entered the picture, you were acting. How did you get into acting as a young girl? You went into dancing, you said, but how did it transition into acting and getting into that world? And then how did you actually meet Wayne? Because there's a couple stories out there.
Right. I got into the business ironically kind of by accident, because I started off as a dancer. And then and like I told you, when I started dancing very late, and I was a baseball player first, and I just got very competitive with it, and I wanted to be good at it. So I kind of stood out, I was gifted with the talent of dance, and naturally, and then I just got competitive with it, and I just said, I want to be really good at this. And so I started getting attention, and then it kind of like, it popped me out of St. Louis because I was on a TV show, and it was like the American Idol or America's Got Talent type of show back in the day. It was called Dance Fever. And I was 16 years old, and you had to be 18 to be on the show. And I fibbed, and I said I was, 17 or 18. And we ended up getting to the finals, my partner and I, from St. Louis. So we got a lot of attention. It was Merv Griffin owned the show. And then, we lost by like a point in the finals. I'm still convinced to this day that we lost because we weren't legally 18. We were like 17. And so you had to be on the show. So
Like they can't.
whatever. That's the way I felt. So I thought, well, it was a great, great thing. And then that's how I met Merv Griffin, who brought me back a couple of years later and said, would you like to audition to be a regular on the show? And ironically, that's where I met Wayne when I was 19.
Okay.
And he was on the show. So we met when we were 19, but we didn't get together till we were like 26.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
How was he on the show? Like, did he stand out to you, or?
Big goof. No. No. We both at that time had, we were in relationships with different people, but he was nice. I mean, at 19, you're not really, especially when you have like a little boyfriend at home and he has a little girlfriend at home, you don't think of, being together, but we liked each other. I mean, we didn't have that spark then, but we were friendly with each other and nice, and over the years, we ironically kind of just ran into each other every couple of years at something, being I was in the business and he was, doing his magic out there, and, being a hockey player and hockey star, hockey greatness, I guess. And so we would run into each other. Like I'd be in New York filming a film, and he would be there playing like the Islanders or the Rangers. This is when he was an Oiler. And we just kind of, every 2 years we'd run into each other. Hey, how are you doing? Nothing much more. And then it was at a Lakers-Celtic game, the third time we ran into each other. And I was there with my girlfriend, and he was there with his friend, and it was quite a spectacle. It was when Magic Johnson and Larry Bird were the big stars.
Wow.
Every celebrity and movie star and athlete and anybody who was anybody were at those games back in the day at the Forum. And whether it was Don Johnson or Bruce Willis or Kevin Costner or, Wayne was sitting up there, and I see the light, and I said to my friend, who is that? And someone said, oh, that's Wayne Gretzky. And I'm like, oh, I know Wayne. I met him, several times. And I said, when the light goes down, I'll go over and say hi. So when I guess he was being interviewed, I guess he had won his like third Stanley Cup or something like that. And it wasn't, remember, in that day, it wasn't as big in California, right?
Right.
But he was, he was my friend, and I'd met him before on the show, and I'd go say hi. And that's what I did. I went to say hi, and he said, would you like to have a beer afterwards at the Forum Club? And I went back to my friend, who was a producer of NYPD Blue, and my girlfriend, and there was a couple guys, lurking around that arena where they were playing that championship. And so my girlfriend and I were getting some attention, and I'm like, Mark, what should I do? And he goes, don't even think twice. Go have a beer with Wayne. And I was like, okay, I'll go have a beer with Wayne, and I don't care about these other guys. And he always says I lured him in. And that was probably my first and last beer. I'm not a big drinker.
Yeah.
And so I kind of faked it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is such an iconic LA celebrity Hollywood love story. Like,
Yeah.
it's just,
Well, I don't know. And then we ended up, somehow we ended up, no, he goes, do you want to go get a bite to eat? And I said, sure. And my girlfriend, it was kind of in the area that we lived, and we all met up at that restaurant, and we were talking, and I remember his friend went home, and my friend said, he went to the restroom, and I said, Linda, do you think he likes me? Like that. Like, it was kind of like, weird. And, you know, like, why would he like me? You know what I mean? We're buddies, friends. And she goes, oh my God, yes, I think he likes you. And I was like, okay. She goes, well, I'm going to go on home. Because she just lived down the street. We lived in the apartment together. And we hung out for a little bit. And then a couple weeks later, we ended up going out. He invited me up to the NHL Awards. And I had never been to Canada, you know, and my girlfriends. And I was in New York auditioning for something. And he said, would you come up to this show at the NHL Awards? And I said, sure. I wasn't quite sure, right? Because I'd never been to Canada. And as far as, and in America, back in that time, they didn't really teach, so they didn't teach you the history or the geography of Canada that much, right?
Not at all.
And especially from the Midwest. And that's where I grew up, in St. Louis. And so I was like, okay, just, I'll come up. My girlfriend lived there at the time, Caroline, and she met me at the airport. I ended up going to the NHL Awards. I kind of hid. I didn't realize the magnitude of his
Realize how big of a deal he was.
Yeah, if you were to pose in a photo, that might be like a huge thing.
Well, not so much that, as much as he was a big deal, and it's like he kind of had to hide
accolades
and I was
everything.
kind of like at that time starting to pop out a little bit too, because I had done some films and commercials and I was on that TV show, and so people didn't quite understand why I was there. You know, why would she be? You know, people were like, why is she here? And so I kind of hid in the balcony with his friend, and we've never been apart since. That's kind of the long and gist of it. We've been together ever since.
So then did you move to Edmonton like quite fast after that with him?
No.
or-
Edmonton. No. So we went on a whirlwind of love. Like we were just like two kids. We couldn't believe that we fell in love, right? We were like, wait, we're not supposed to be together. We're just friends, right? You're with your boyfriend, you're with your girlfriend. We were kind of ending the relationships at the time, and we're like, we aren't supposed to be together. But that was maybe a little bit of the excitement about it, because all of us, it was ironic that we were together. And then we went on a whirlwind of hiding for a little while of being together. So it was kind of nice because people didn't assume or put us together, right?
Yeah.
Like Canadians didn't really know me, and so we just had a moment in time where it was like quiet and it was real organic, right? And we hid it from everybody. And then when it got out, it kind of went pretty fast, right?
Well,
It got out, and then it was like we went on a whirlwind of fun and traveling, and it was his off season. And then came September, where he had to do something like the World Cup or something, or the, what was it, like Rendezvous, or I don't know, Canada Cup or something. And I was like, I can't keep hanging out with this guy in Canada. You know what I mean? But I have fallen for him, but I should probably go back and do my thing, right?
Right.
So I took a film, and it was Police Academy. And I had to be in Florida, and I was like, this is perfect. I can be far away in Florida, right? I'm not near Canada. He can go do his thing. But we couldn't live without each other. We were like on the phone all day long together. We've fallen in love really quick. And it was like love on speed dial. But I was going to be in Florida. I was going to be in Miami shooting Police Academy for like 3 months, and he was going to start his season. And we just couldn't wait to be together. And after I was finished in December shooting the film, I ran up to Edmonton. I mean, there's some funny stories in between that too, but we ran together. That was like in January. He asked me to marry him. That's what I was like, January 9th, the day before my birthday. He asked me to marry him, and then it hit the wire, right? It kind of was all over TV and everything, right?
and he asked you to marry him on the phone. Is that what I read?
He did.
Yeah.
What?
I kind of love it.
I was shooting a video in Carolina. I was just trying to take work so I wouldn't like be hanging out with him. You know what I mean? It was kind of like
Stay busy.
not my strategy, but it was kind of like, you know, I need to stay busy too.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can't just be chasing this boy that I love. And it happens to be Wayne.
Yeah.
So I need to do my thing.
This
Not
boy.
because I just needed to be busy. And, but we were like two kids in love that wanted to be together all the time. You know, we didn't want to be apart. We
You
were
couldn't
like,
fight it.
And we were kind of like, he was, you know, a superstar, of course, in hockey, as you girls know. And I was kind of like doing a good thing too. I was like working a lot, and I'd done commercials and film, and I was just constantly working, not to his magnitude, but it was kind of like we were parallel at the same time.
Right.
But we both wanted the same thing. We'd both come from big families. I had 6 siblings. He had 4 siblings. Our parents were just, you know, never divorced, always together. My dad had passed away when I was like 14, so I had my mother. But our roads hit at the same time of what we needed in our life. Yeah. We both worked a lot, right, up until then. And we both knew we wanted to be married and have kids. And that was kind of like the trajectory of what we were on, you know, like, first comes love, then comes marriage. Yeah. We did it all in 1 year.
Yeah.
So we did it all in 1 year. Got engaged in January, planned a wedding in July. He played his season out. They won the cup. He won all his awards again. And then he got traded to California. Then, woof, that was another whirlwind. Then we came down and bought our first house together. And then it was like, then we had a baby in January, and it was crazy. It was a crazy year from January till December having Paulina. It was nutty. I mean, but it was easy. Like a lot of people said, if you did 4 of those things, it would cause a divorce, you know, and for someone's life, the stress of it and everything like that. This was just bliss and what kids were doing in love, you know? Yeah. And so within that year, we got engaged, we got pregnant, we got married, a fourth cup, and had a baby all in 1 year.
Well, the summer of '88 was kind of circled in our planning for this, of like you just said, you did it all in one, which is kind of funny. It kind of goes with everybody's hockey story. Like you're like, everybody always has at least one story where it's like, we got married, we got traded, we also had a baby. And that's like, it's funny to hear that was your guys' story too, but on another level, because I was like, Kat, how do we like start from here? You win a Stanley Cup. Then you have a royal wedding. Like, that's what it was called, correct? Like, were you prepared for planning? Like, I'm going to let the Stanley Cup, like, I hate to even say it, but go to the wayside, because it was the 4th one at this point. Amazing. But you're also planning a wedding in Edmonton did you realize what was happening at the moment, like, of planning that kind of wedding? Was that your idea of your dream wedding? Like,
broadcast
where did that
to the
come
entire
from?
country?
Yeah.
Well, Wayne wanted me to get the record straight, as he just kind of leaned over and said, I planned the wedding.
Oh, see?
If you knew me to know me, you would think, how could that have ever happened? Because I'm such a control freak, you know? I had to control this whole house, all the family, all the kids, everything. I have to know exactly what everybody's wearing, you know, I have to be in like hands and everything. Yeah. And to think that I let him plan the wedding is like cuckoo.
Wait.
Yeah, we need more context. He planned the whole wedding himself.
He planned the whole wedding. Well, first of all, because think about it. I did not know too much about Canada. So he probably understood the magnitude of what it would be more than I.
Can he come in here and tell us like who he worked with? Like when did he do this? When he was playing
How'd he pick
in
the
playoff
venue?
games? Like what?
I think we did it after the Stanley Cup. I think we just banged it out, and I think he worked with a coordinator, and he just did it all because he had. Well, I probably had 20 people there, and he probably had 1,500. So
this is blowing my mind right now.
Yeah.
That's
Believe
amazing.
it or not, I'm such a control freak. I have to do the flowers. Like, I don't even let anybody do flowers. And the fact that he picked the color and
you were just in love.
And he just had it all. I think he was so used to kind of like being the captain of the Oilers and kind of taking control of the room. He did the same thing with me. He said, just bring your bridesmaids, your dresses, and your suitcases. And we're like, okay.
The greatest wedding planner of all time.
The greatest wedding planner of all time.
I didn't even know there was going to be those RCMPs, is that what they're called, with the red jackets outside on the steps? I had no idea they were going to be out there, and I thought, that's cool.
So you were surprised every step of the way.
Yeah, I was. But like I said, when you're young, or we weren't considered probably 22, we were like 27. So we were kind of in our late 20s, but we felt young because we were crazy in love and young in love. And so everything seems easy. Everything happens effortless and easy when you're young. And like you girls probably know too, being married and having your puppy's cat and what do you have, 4 boys, Julie?
Yes.
Yeah. So you just get it done, and when you're young, it's easy. It's a lot easier than when you become grandma. You know what I mean? It's all, to have the kids around, and you just bounce. You bounce with it, we're like, you're blessed. Our husbands, they do well financially, and you can afford to, move around. Like, we're just not, I don't think we're kind of cut out to all be normal.
Right.
Like normal people, right?
Wait, maybe dumb question, because I should have researched this, but was the cup at the wedding?
No.
Oh, okay. Damn.
That is,
I was going to say that would be crazy if
I
that
think
was
our
just...
cake looked like a cup, if I remember correctly.
So would you say, out of every year you guys were together, hockey-wise, was that maybe the craziest year that you guys were together in hockey, or like your favorite year? Or
Probably the first year would have been our favorite year, right?
Yeah.
That we were together because everything was so exciting.
Well, and it all happened.
I kind of wish that, I know that they wanted to give him like to be put in the Hall of Fame right when he retired. And so everything seemed to happen like in a day, like everything was happening. So it would have been nice to like experience the Hall of Fame maybe like 20 years later or something, just to kind of look back in theory. But
it's tough when you're Wayne. You just
Yeah, I think we could arrange a 20-year something or other.
Anniversary.
Well, maybe when Walter's entered into the Hall of Fame, I think his dad should be put in the Hall of Fame for everything he's done for hockey. So that could be when we all come back.
That would be cool.
Okay, so going into the hockey world from your world, I kind of had the same thing. I worked for the Dodgers. I told you I was like very celebrity culture or whatever. And then I went I went into Ty's world. What was it like for you to enter that world, first of all? And then what kind of fan were you watching Wayne?
Okay. That's a good one. Because prior to Wayne, I was with a tennis player. Okay. So I did the tennis world before that. Okay. He was in the top 10 for like 10 years. His name was Vitas Gerulaitis. Unfortunately, God rest his soul, he passed at the age of 40, carbon monoxide poisoning. We were not together then. I had already had 2 children. Trevor, my third, was on my way, but we were friends. So that's a sad story. But he was dynamic. And so I lived the tennis world on that level. When Bjorn Borg, John McEnroe, Jimmy Connors, when Ivan Lendl, when they were all like at the top of the world. And back then they were all like rock stars. So anytime you would travel with them, you would be like, it was like red carpet, whether you were in Italy or whether you were in London or
worldwide,
Wimbledon, or whether you were at the French Open or at the US Open. It was somewhat similar, except it was individual, right? Mm-hmm. But that group of boys were always together. So it felt like that. So like I said, I was a tomboy. So I fell into those worlds, the sports world, right? Mm-hmm. So it wasn't that much different. Although I remember the first introduction I had into hockey and being with Wayne was when I believe it was the Canada Cup in Hamilton, or where Mario Lemieux and Wayne played together. Remember? And he jumped into Mario's arms, and it was the big Canada Cup win, right? So, and it was like triple overtime. It went till like 2 a.m. and people would they'd sit there and say, "Janet, how do you like it compared to tennis?" And I was like, "It's good. It's exciting. These guys are good. It's like war out there. They're fighting for each other. They're having a good time." I know I really liked the sport because that was my introduction into it. And I think they won the whole thing. So that was exciting. The one thing I'll say about Wayne and being together with Wayne and his stature and his level was that, and you girls probably looking back at his legacy and everything, you'll see he's very humble and very soft spoken. So he was always so gracious to me. He always made me feel like I was equal to him. Never like he walked ahead of me or that he was better than I. He was so humble and so like, we walked together everywhere. So that was a big deal. You know what I mean? Like as far as it didn't matter to me, but it made me feel special.
Right.
It made me feel like he liked me or loved me as much or more than hockey. Like that was just the game he played,
Right.
good at it, and that he was in love with me.
Well,
I think it's kind of turned around now, though. I think it's evolved back. Now I'm in the car trying to have a conversation with him, and it's like hockey.
yeah.
Yeah. Now
Like,
he's
oh my gosh,
Well,
You can't-
what was it like watching him play? No, like because he was so good. Were you cool, calm, and collected, or were you like ever nervous, or like?
I'll tell you what, like with my children, I got nervous because I was just wanting them to do so well when they would play sports. Watching Wayne, he was so good. He made me feel so comfortable that he was every time, like you wanted to be there watching him because every time he would jump the boards, something happened.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell people. It's like, if you haven't seen like on YouTube or videos or film of Wayne, you have to go see it. And one day when his documentary is done, it will be sensational because every time he jumped the boards, something magical happened. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like you watch it now and yeah, it's fun to watch. He was very artistic. He was very creative. He got everybody involved, which was special. Like every player on the team, they were part of whatever he was creating out there. They were part of it. So I think that's why he was so revered by all his teammates and his coaches and everything, because he was so great at involving everybody. Right?
Yeah. Well,
That
still
makes
to this day, and his
Yeah,
impact.
whatever he does, he does
his
that.
impact throughout, just like his broadcasting and all of that. Like you
Good
still
point.
feel the weight of his impact off the ice. Like it's not just like, oh, he was this like, iconic player. It is lasting. And it sounds like that comes from his father, was very impactful and kind of gave him that kind of energy and spirit. Like that is a gift that you can do it on and off the ice. And I don't know, I'm still like a little paralyzed that again, it's his humility that he came and sat in for 5 minutes with us. That's just a testament again to him and y'all's relationship and why, what makes it so special to you and why he's more than just that hockey player that was kind of good,
He it's so fun when, to watch him on TNT because he brings back exactly what I said when I would watch him play hockey, like it was exciting to go to the games because you knew something special was going to happen. So it's the same thing with TNT. It's like you want to hear him talk because he's going to tell you a story of something that happened to him that he can bring it current to the current game today and evolve everybody again. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And whether it's Ace or whoever's on the desk with them, Biz or Talkett or Henry or anybody, he'll involve everybody, but at the same time, it's he's very soft spoken, but whatever he says is important, and he's going to teach you something about the game. And the person who taught me about the game, watching Wayne taught me the game, but the real analytical words and the structure of the game was taught to me by his father, Walter. The first 10 years, I learned the game through Walter. Walter's voice would teach it to me.
Wow,
That's special.
Yeah.
crazy.
Okay, so the not wrapping up, but that year, the 88, the trade, there's a lot of interpretations of the trade and all the whatever went behind it. What is something about that trade that happened that you wish, like, I mean, obviously, like, social media wasn't a thing then, you know, it was only certain news outlets, and there's assumptions about things. Like, what is something that you're like, you wish people really knew, like, about that trade?
In Canada, they thought, well, she just wanted him back down to California so she could work on her career. Well, that wasn't true because I was pretty much barefoot and pregnant the next 4 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the next 4 years I was pregnant.
That's
I had
fact.
3 children.
Yeah.
That's fact.
Yeah.
But I always felt like I would go back to work at some point. So I never felt like it was out of the realm to go back to work. I always felt like it was in my blood to one day work again. So I always had hopes and dreams that I'd get back out there, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, then he got traded. Then he was in St. Louis for a second and then New York for.
That's the big thing of, like, you know, uprooting, trying to maintain routines, things like that with kids, like with Wayne and his stature. And obviously, like, he is still competing at the highest level. Like, how did you maintain all of that and structure, and were there certain routines that you kind of had, you know, was he a napper? Was that like a thing? You know, my husband
He's
naps
called
at
the Great Napper.
the great.
He still naps. I could show you 16 pictures in the last year of him. I sent it. It's actually very funny you said that because, like, I get these great random pictures of Wayne sleeping everywhere. And I send them to, like, my friends. Like, I'll mention Brett Baer. You know, he's on Fox. Or,
Yeah.
or you know, we have a friendship group here in Palm Beach. I send the pictures, and I'm like, the Great Napper, and it's like he'll be sleeping like in the most random places, and we call him the Great Napper now.
In like public, like he's like,
Oh, maybe if I'm shopping, like he'll lay on the couch and start napping, or anywhere, like, you know, if he has no problem, and he's not shy about lying down.
Oh, he's full, like, I can see, like, the sitting up sleeping sort of thing. Like, how
No.
can you sleep? He's
No, he
full
lies
on.
down wherever he is with the pillow between his legs. He'll find something to be a pillow and he'll lie down, and I'll take the picture and I'll be like, send it to my group of friends, the Great Napper, and they die because it's like, I can't believe he's lying down there and napping. I think one of the funniest stories is when he did this match golf event on TV. I think it was it TNT? I don't remember, last year, and it was like Wahlberg and Michael Phelps and Ken Griffey Jr. and I mean, you name it. There was like eight athletes and celebrities and things that were competing for this $1 million, and Bill Murray and Wayne were like the old men in it, and they were like ranked like 7 and 8 to have a chance of winning, and these guys would be out stretching, getting ready on the range, you know, and this and that. And Bill Murray and Wayne would be on like 2 couches, like sleeping, you know, like just napping together, you know.
was this caught by any like social media or anything?
No, they're not fast enough, smart enough to get it. They should have. It should have been on the show. They should have showed them both napping in that room. It was so funny, you know. Wayne ended up winning the $1 million, you know, which is funny.
Wow.
Oh, he beat all the. Oh, wow.
Yep, he beat everybody.
Because he's rested. He's well rested.
Yeah, I start to think, you know, now it's turned into like a European kind of siesta, like they take their nap between 12 and 2. That's Wayne.
Yeah. Sorry,
Wow.
fam.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So did he have or you have any superstitions, or just he was just easy?
Or he was just good.
Yeah. Didn't need superstitions.
No, he was very superstitious.
Yeah.
Wayne was about his regiment, you know, like he'd go practice and he'd come home and then he'd eat lunch and then he'd nap, he'd watch soap operas. I did a lot of that napping too because I was pregnant a lot. So I did the noon nap, you know, the afternoon, those were good times for me to sleep too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'd get up and then he'd shower and then he'd go to the rink.
So soap operas.
Yeah, what soap operas?
Like One Life to Live. What was the one Luke and Laura got married? General Hospital.
Yes.
I didn't even know soap operas. Like literally, I think what it did is it calmed him, and he just kind of. I think wasn't soap operas kind of like your first taste of reality shows?
Yes, that's
but it was still scripted, but it was like kind of like you're in someone's home, and it's like, yeah, it was kind of like the first real set of reality shows. So I think it would just like calm him, and just like he would watch them, and then he became fans of them, to the point of when he played in California and the biggest movie stars in the world were watching him. It was the biggest ticket in LA when he came to LA. Like, everybody had to be at the games. All the biggest celebrities, they were out then, you know. It's not like it is today. And like Wayne would say, you know, like some big, like, I don't know, name it.
Jack Nicholson? I don't know.
Yes. Yes. Jack Nicholson would be on the ice watching him, like, you know, watching him play. And Wayne would come back and he'd say, hey, did you see this Susan Lucci? Like, or someone even like not as big as Susan Lucci. Like he was there. He was watching. And I think he would be praying that he'd come back in the locker room to meet him.
That
it
is
was
so funny.
Because he was such fans of all those actors.
And it was part of his pregame routine. So Wayne had to watch
It was
those.
part of his life. I kind of think he still watches them today, to be honest with you. I think
He
Sometimes.
catches them on the DVR.
Yeah, has he evolved into like reality now?
No.
No.
He doesn't like that at all. No.
Okay. Well, so on his appearances, like on shows and movies and all that stuff that he did, and now into his broadcasting career, did you kind of prep him from your background, and like have you helped him with acting before? Like, how did
She's
you?
his stylist.
Yeah,
That's stylist, but also like
no, the styling him is a big one, because that's how you guys are going to see him, you know. And guys, they don't think so much. I mean, you can tell the guys on TV that want to be seen for that, and then you can also tell the guys that could care 2 cents about it. So it's my job to make it at least acceptable, right?
Yeah. Well, he always looks great, so credit to Janet.
Yeah,
for
I
that.
make sure that, you know, but if you remember when he was a player, he was very stylized out there, right? Like he always had his little jersey tucked. He always wore like a little, you know, mock neck, turtleneck before anybody. He looked cool, right?
Yeah.
Like when you see films of him, he looked hip.
Yeah.
And cute. And he was very aware. You know, I think he was very stylized. So I don't want him to lose that.
Yeah.
Right? So when he shows up, and you know, it's funny because like we as mothers, you protect who you're around, you know, you want them to look good, and so like my whole thing is, you know, people are always going to look at you now, Wayne, and judge you, and you know what you were like, because they're meeting you, the great one, right? And so they're going to walk away from that. So not that not that he doesn't care about it, but I probably care about it more.
Yeah.
Right? His image.
Well, you get to like put the bow on the present. Like he's the present
image,
to everybody,
you know?
and you get to like make
People
it look
wanna
all
walk
nice.
away, and if they're going to walk away, I'm going to let them talk about something nice instead of,
because
I mean, it's like, I don't even, is it called a gatekeeper?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like protector
I'm
of all.
that must be like so interesting that you know that every time somebody on the street meets him, it's going to be a story of theirs. You know?
Well, and also too, everybody wants a picture, and Wayne doesn't care about taking his hat off and his head hair being all a mess.
Yeah.
And looking like he's like half cropped, and he's not. He's just taking his hat off, you know. So I'm like, Wayne, fix your hair, because that's going to be the picture.
You're looking out for him.
Yeah.
That might be framed. It's probably going to be framed. So
Or they're just going to show it, you know what I mean? And you should look halfway decent.
Yeah.
Where he doesn't, he's like a guy, he doesn't care.
They do. Yeah, they don't.
Speaking of styling, what do you think of the new phenomenon of the WAG jackets?
I think it's a way that the girls can unite. I think it's a way that they can feel teamish.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just, it's kind of their, they do it, like, look at it. They do it at the Ryder Cup. They do it at the President's Cup, the wives where, they all get, it's like a way to be a team. And why not? Hockey should do it just like the Ryder Cup and the President's Cup. They should all unite and have their little.
That was true. I did see it for like the first time with the Ryder Cup, the wives on the different countries like getting into it more, and that was really neat. And it brought even more excitement around the sport, which I think is always a good thing for any sport. So that's Fun.
you have a?
You know who made me? I probably was the first one, because you know who made me? I hate to say that, like I'm not bragging, but I am old. But you know who made me a jacket when Wayne came to the Kings?
Who?
Who's really successful now is Chrome Hearts.
Oh, wow.
Cool. Wow. Do
So
you still have that?
their company, their company started out of a garage in Hollywood, and I was kind of like, I had somewhat of a pretty good figure, and they would like me always in their leather pants. So I would wear them around and stuff. And so when Wayne came to the Kings, they're like, Janet, we want to make you a jacket. And I'm like, okay. So they made me this jacket, this Chrome Hearts jacket. It's black leather. It's got like the King's emblem on my right arm, the big crown in the back, 99 on this arm.
Sick.
It's like the belt. No, it's literally 500 pounds. And I think his name's is it Ray Stark? And anyway, he was on the phone with Ty Domi the other day, I guess about a month ago, and he's like, "That's Janet," and I'm like, Ty's like, "Yeah." He goes, they were talking about the jacket. They're like, "Janet, can you take a picture of yourself in that jacket? That's like a one of one. That was like the first jacket they ever made."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, I actually have a photo shoot coming up in February." I said, "I'll do a picture of me in the jacket." So.
Oh, that's
I'm
awesome.
gonna
Oh, stay tuned. That's so fun. So we'll get to see.
Cute.
Hopefully it makes their like wall or something.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, they're going to have to remake it to resell
I mean,
it.
it literally is 500 pounds.
Yeah.
I don't even, yeah.
That's
but-
amazing.
The jacket should be part of whatever man cave you guys have going on in that house. I'm sure you have a man cave going.
I actually like it at a really cool event, like a hockey event. It'd be cool to wear,
Well, we've got one coming up this week. It might be too hot for it.
Yeah, it's a little warm for there.
Little
Maybe
warm.
I'll wear it inside. Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Okay, did you put together the two truths and a lie?
Let's see. 2 truths and a lie.
Didn't you say Dustin?
Help Vanna White get her job on Wheel of Fortune. Wayne has more hole-in-ones than me in golf.
Okay.
And I played on a hockey team. Okay, there it is.
I think I know the lie.
I played on a hockey team. I helped Vanna White get her job on Wheel of Fortune. And what was the other one I did?
The whole one.
Wayne has more hole-in-ones than you.
Ones than I do. Okay, so
All right, I think that's the last one is the lie. I don't think that Wayne has more hole-in-ones than you.
I'm going to say the same thing.
the last one,
The lie was that Wayne does not have. You have more hole-in-ones than Wayne.
Yeah.
You do? Oh,
Damn. I wanted to bluff you guys.
well,
Well, you said you hustle the guys, so I just
yeah,
kinda
I
was
feel like you're the goat at
I
golf.
said that.
So that's
I shouldn't
great.
have said
They're all three great
I have
stories.
I have 3 hole-in-ones. Wayne has 1.
oh my
3 hole-in-ones?
That was bad. I wasn't good then.
No, you
No,
were
it was great because that's a great. Yeah,
You were great. But
I
what
think most people would think I didn't play on a hockey team.
But what is that story? Where did you play
Played
on
for the
hockey?
the Rangers wives team.
Oh, fun.
Okay, that's so funny.
Yeah.
That was
It was
like
so fun.
we
It
had
was
one
so fun.
in Montreal, and it was
Yeah.
the best like Wednesday afternoon ever.
Yeah.
Like
Did they have a name?
I think it was just called the Rangers wives.
Yeah. Julie, I think I told you when we were talking about two truths and a lie. Didn't you say, Janet, that Dustin gave you an example for himself?
Yeah, he did. He did. He gave me because Paulina's like, "Mommy, it's really easy to do. We do it all the time." Dustin, she goes, "Give my mom an example." Of course, she didn't, but give my mom an example. And so he sits down. And he goes, "Okay." I shot a 59. I caught a white marlin, and I shot a duck. And I'm like,
see, that's
I'm like-
quick. Like how
I'm like, you didn't shoot a duck. I know you didn't shoot a duck because you went duck hunting the other day and you guys shot 1 duck and it wasn't you. So you didn't shoot a duck. And someone else, I think Paulina said, yeah, I don't think you caught a white marlin. And sure enough, he didn't shoot a 59.
Oh,
We were all
he
wrong. And
duped
I'm thinking,
all of you.
dang,
Yeah.
I wish one of you guys would have picked the other one.
I am shocked. I kind of went on Cat's track because I usually lose at that game.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at it, and I think it's the same. I just am not good at lying. I'm not good at like
I
making
couldn't think.
things
I,
up.
I thought of everything we would think of. Even today at golf, afterwards, we were all sitting around. I was like, "You guys, give me 2 truths and a lie," and everything we were talking about was a truth, and we couldn't think of the lie. So
I know. I was telling her maybe alter a truth a little bit, like
Yeah, that's
whatever.
Cat's MO. So wait, you helped Vanna White get her job. My mom was
did.
on the Wheel of Fortune. Is a fun fact.
was?
Yes.
was she a contestant?
She was a contestant, and
Oh,
it was
cool.
yeah, and she got second place. And to this day, we razz her about it. We're like,
Isn't that fun?
mosquito netting is what she missed on the thing.
That's funny.
So we'll say that.
Remember I told you that Merv Griffin owned all those shows, Jeopardy, Wheel
right.
of Fortune, Dance Fever, and everything. So when you shoot a show like that, you do it in like a 6 to 8 week period. So it's all condensed. They shoot all the shows and then you go
Spread
off
out.
till the next season. And the girl was retiring, the main girl that turned the letters, and Merv asked me if I wanted to do it, and I was like, I don't think that's me. I just didn't think it was my. That's not exactly what I wanted to do. I would have been like, no, I got to do other things. I would have
Yeah.
lasted like one season,
You'd have been
maybe a
bored.
half a season. No, it's not that I was bored. It would have been bored. I was just like wanting different things.
Yeah.
Like I was a dancer, so I wanted different things. I wanted to do commercials. I wanted to, I wanted to do a lot of different things. And so they had an audition. And they went through the auditions, and Paul Gilbert, the producer, had gone through all the girls. And Vanna, I had met at a party with her and her boyfriend, and she had come into one of my tapings of Dance Fever. And she said, Janet, would you do me a favor? I'd really like to audition to Turn the Letters. And I was like, yeah. So I went up to Paul and I was like, Paul, meet my friend.
Yeah, I
And
got a
he's
girl.
like, Janet, no, he's yelling at me. I'm down to 3 girls. I can't meet any more girls. Well, that didn't stop me. Merv was sitting against the wall. He was leaning against the wall, and I went over and I said, would you do me a big favor? And he goes, in his funny way, yeah, yeah, Janet, yeah. So I said, could you meet my girlfriend over here? She really wants to turn the letters. And he goes, yeah. And like 4 days later, I got 3 dozen roses. I got the job. Yeah.
And she's an icon.
cool.
And she is a legend.
Yeah,
Icon,
yeah,
goat of game show host.
yeah.
She
Style.
handled that job better than anybody because
I love that you're behind that. The mastermind.
she wasn't and I didn't know it at the time. I just know that's what she really wanted to do. So, the fact that she did it and did it with such grace and like didn't look like she needed to do anything else. She did. It was like perfect for her. Who stays on a show for like 30 seasons? Nobody.
No, yeah, it's amazing.
And she's done so well with it, and she's still on it, and not to mention she's made a ton of money, and she's made a great career out of it, and God bless her, and couldn't be a nicer person.
Amazing. Well, with Dance Fever kind of in your background, has Dancing with the Stars ever approached you or Wayne?
Wayne,
And that's
Yeah.
a hard no from him? Like
Oh, wow.
he would never? Or
that
but
would
like
be a hard no.
hard no?
Yeah,
What about you? Because
Yeah, what
I'm
about
like,
I did think it would have been fun to do it, but they said their comeback was, I believe that they felt like I was too much of a professional dancer.
oh, that
But I thought it was a little like far fetched because it seemed like everybody had as much or more dance training than I ever had.
Well, how long ago was this? Because I think they've changed their tune these days.
yes, like
Maybe it'd be good for Paulina to do.
I was going to say, have they ever approached Paulina? I feel like they probably. 'Cause she danced, you said, growing up.
Maybe once a long time ago when maybe she was, maybe once a long time ago, but
Well, I'm team get a Gretzky on Dancing with
Yeah.
the Stars because that would be
Hey,
so
let's do
fun.
Paulina. Let's root Paulina. That would be fun for her. I'm actually executive producing a show that's being done down here in Palm Beach. I'm an executive producer on it, and it's called La Boom Boom. It's going to be February 27th. It's like Joelle Constantine. She's the producer. She put it together. It's like cabaret, burlesque, Broadway,
Oh,
all put together. It's going to be the hottest show. Literally, it's sold out in 48 hours. The tickets, 400 tickets.
so it's a live show.
It's a live show, and it's going to have like a Frank Sinatra impersonator. It's got like 20 girls dancing.
Oh, cool.
It's going to be, I mean, literally it's sold out in 48 hours.
Wait,
and
that's
they're doing
amazing.
one night. And of course, Joelle's trying to get me to do a cameo at the end.
Yes.
You have to. Oh my God. You got it. You have to.
I wouldn't give her a complete answer until January. You know,
Okay.
I said, I gotta dance a little bit before I do that.
That'd be
But-
amazing.
Julie might be sneaking in as
I
401.
I might be coming up to Palm Beach and finding a ticket.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big night. It's a black tie. It's red carpet. It's gonna be a big show, and at least one night. And
That's awesome.
It's gonna be a fun night. I think that this city, this town, Palm Beach, which is popping, by the way, because of course that's where Mar-a-Lago is, where the president lives, and the first lady, and it's just such a. Have you guys been to Palm Beach at all? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Julie, you have.
Yes,
You-
but I need to when my kids get back in school, I need a full day up there to
Yeah, you do.
explore, go to the Hive, all the things,
Oh yeah.
and do it up right.
First Avenue and
Yes.
everything. It really is like a vacation when you go to Palm Beach.
I imagine it to be. I've been up there for youth hockey more than I have
okay.
which by the way, is Wayne doing something with a youth hockey thing up there?
We're building 2 sheets right here in Palm Beach.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I heard. So, we're getting really dialed into the youth
Oh
hockey
yeah. It's
world.
going to be youth hockey.
Central
time.
Mecca.
And then the Glazer family, Avi and Jill Glazer, they own the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I think they own Manchester United football
soccer,
soccer
yep.
team. Anyway, they renovated for the last 5 years Glazer Hall, which is an iconic theater that's been renovated, a 400-seat theater in Palm Beach, which is going to be be
Wow.
a fun night. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Because it's going to be something Palm Beach isn't. They do beautiful events here, and they do beautiful like charity events and things like that. But this is like cabaret, burlesque, Broadway all together.
Taken so much of your time that we just kind of wanted to wrap things up with just some quick hitter
whatever you want.
questions.
I'm good.
Okay.
Yes.
And if some of these bring up stories or anything, great. So just let us know. Julie, you want to kick it off?
Yeah. So you kind of already touched on this, but what are you and Wayne watching together right now on TV?
There's a funny show that Chuck Lorre is producing called Leanne.
Leanne.
It is hysterical. You have to watch it. We like Hacks. We like uplifting, kind of funny shows. Like we loved Hacks, Gene Smart and Hacks. That was really fun.
Yeah.
No, we love Emily in Paris. It just feels like you're kind of on vacation, right?
Yes. It's light.
I love that.
It's
I love the
fun.
relationships between all the different people. Which, by the way, the girl that does that little cabaret show.
Yes.
Which I think she's
Yeah.
phenomenal. That's kind of like when they brought the show to me, I was like, oh, like her. I like what she does.
Yeah.
A bit of Landman, Billy Bob Thornton is so good.
So good.
Which of the guys that Emily dates is Wayne rooting to be the one? Because I feel like we're really keep going in circles here.
Hey, which one Wayne thinks it
Or
should-
both of you. I feel like both of you probably have been like, oh, she's
Yeah.
got
Which love
end up
story
with
are
him.
we rooting for?
I like the chef. I think the chef is sexy. But you like which guy do you like for Emily? He doesn't care. He just likes the show.
It just seems like a major
you know
plot.
what? When you're in America, you're in USA, it's kind of fun. It just feels like you're kind of you just kind of escape and like you're in Rome or you're in Paris. It's fun.
And the fashion and just
the
the
fashion.
lightness. I love that.
And she's so adorable, right?
She is the
And,
cutest.
and they have great style and they have great, all the characters, all the actors in it are good.
Right.
I like them all. What's the girl that was the chef's wife?
Camille.
Camille.
Yeah. She was so endearing too.
I know.
right?
I didn't like that they wrote her off. I liked her character.
And I liked her character. I loved the way that she would go off to her rich parents' castle. And
Yeah.
that was kind of fun.
The
Like they
bubbles.
always had these little, I love Succession.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I'd love to
haven't
be on a
watched
show
it yet.
like Succession or Emily in Paris, or I want to do something on Netflix or
Put it in the universe. Here we go. Netflix. Netflix is
Call
taking
me.
over the
Call
world.
me.
Netflix is taking over the world.
Netflix, call me.
Yeah.
I want to do a show. I'm like, bring back the old lady, right?
Old lady. That's
I'm old. Bring me back.
But you know what?
No, that's kind of like the thing right now. You got Jean Smart, you got Demi Moore, you got all these. Well, I don't want to say they're old, but they're great and they look good. And
we're here for it. I
in
love
the
it.
meantime, I have 5 kids and 7 grandkids, so I got a job too.
Yeah.
No reality, Netflix.
Yes.
Not reality though.
Right. I think Wayne would be good on a show like I told his agent, I was like, you're crazy not to think outside the box with Wayne. I think Wayne would be a great judge on America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
I think Wayne would be great on anything. So
But I think they should think, Wayne, go away.
well, we could have Wayne sit here for quick hitters.
So you want me to wrap it up?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Wayne, can you sit in on our quick hitters, please?
Okay.
What's quick hitters?
What? Come on.
They're just our last final quick questions.
Okay. He's coming in. Come on, sit over here. Sit with me, Wayne.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, there we
All
go.
What is your favorite vacation spot that you both go to?
Oh God.
Vegas.
Vegas.
I was not
I'll go
expecting
with
that.
her.
Yeah.
That was not what I was expecting. I was expecting you were just talking about Rome and Emily in Paris and all that
That's
stuff.
too far to fly.
Vegas, easy.
No, where we stay in Vegas, it's like Italy at the mansions.
Because I work for MGM, so
Yeah, those.
Or Bellagio's like France.
Yeah.
it's pretty
Fun.
nice.
And it's
Nice.
only a little flight.
And the kids all want to go with us.
No
You
doubt.
can't get rid of them.
No doubt.
I mean, it's so close. It's especially
Okay.
LA.
The best concert y'all have ever been to.
Oh, I got this one. Our first date, Brian Adams, Toronto.
Love it.
Wasn't it cool?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's why we're still married.
what's your answer, Janet?
Love Brian Adams.
It was very
Love Brian Adams.
sexy.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, because Brian was so good. I've known Brian since he was 17. I met him when he did his first.
no, Brian Adams is great.
Yeah.
He's right.
That was
Brian
my
Adams
that was my
is great.
favorite concert.
And then
What's your favorite concert?
It's like the newlywed game
Well,
right now.
it might have been why it was your favorite concert. It was your first date, you said.
Yeah,
So
that was pretty cool. We were on
and
stage.
we're not really.
We were on
concert
stage.
people.
I've known Brian since he was
I know
17.
what I like. Yeah, Brian Adams is great. But I also like going to iHeart at the MGM Vegas.
Yeah, but that's not a. I
It
never
is a
went with
concert
you.
because you
I
get
never
to
went.
watch several.
Everybody.
But
Right?
I,
Have you girls ever done it?
but
I've
no,
worked
I
it
never
before.
went with
Have you ever done it?
But hold on a second. I never went with her.
yeah,
You mean
so-
together?
Together, yes.
Oh, Brian Adams.
okay.
Okay. We'll take
iHeart is great though. You should
Okay.
check it out, Wayne. It's fun.
I'm okay.
Because you can
I
watch
can stay
someone
in the
you
hotel
like.
and eat.
No, but you can
I'm
watch
happy.
someone you like, and then you can go have dinner. You can watch someone you like, and then you can go gamble, and then you can watch someone. You can kind of go in
Can
and
I
out.
ask you a question? When you guys did Conor McDavid's wife, did he do the show? See how nice I am?
No, you know what? We did not get any Connor McDavid airtime, so this is
She
very
was at
special.
her office.
Okay.
Do you guys have a favorite? Yeah, you must have a favorite restaurant in Vegas that you go to. Then
Oh, she does. Tell him. Your sushi place.
Oh, Yellowtail
Yellowtail.
Yeah.
at the Bellagio.
okay.
It's good. It's really good. But Carbone's is good. I mean, that's the thing with Vegas. You have
Everything.
great restaurants right? The best food, the best chefs in the world, the best shopping,
It's all. It's like it's
cars.
just a
you know?
yeah, all in
It's
one.
like you win free money.
Everything's nice too. Just everything is nice.
Yeah.
Wayne,
And
what
yeah,
is your
butler
favorite? What is your favorite soap opera?
General Hospital.
Okay, I just had to.
Oh, I haven't watched it in 20 years, but Tony Geary, who just passed away, played Luke Spencer. And so because of Janet, I got to meet a lot of those guys, and a lot of celebrities used to come to the games.
That is such a lie. 'Cause
And-
they wanted to meet him.
And I could care less, but if a soap opera guy was there, I was like, okay, I want to meet him. No, it was actually kind of funny.
I love it.
But yeah, because in the old days, you had 3 channels, right? And so we'd nap in the afternoon, and I would watch General Hospital. That's what I watched.
Yeah.
I watched it with my mother, and I watched it all the way through. So I was a General Hospital fan, but I haven't watched soap operas in 15 years. I got to be honest.
That's true. 2 truths and a lie. That is a lie.
That's a,
That's a
is a
lie.
lie.
When
Show
she
us
rolls
your
over,
DVR.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On my TV.
yeah.
I promise you I haven't.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, we love that it was part of your pregame routine. That is
Yes,
just phenomenal.
that's epic. And that you're a wedding planner. This is unheard
No,
of.
how cool is that? I planned the whole wedding, just so you know.
It's really like groundbreaking information.
What was
Don't
your
you think we should renew our vows?
I can't even get in the car now without her telling me where to go. But I planned the whole wedding.
I'm here for the vow renewal because
Yeah.
I want to see these planning skills now that we're like,
Okay.
we have more.
I'm out, just so you know.
Okay,
love it.
what is y'all's favorite golf course you've ever played?
Augusta.
Janet and I got a chance to go play Augusta and stay with a friend. And she started crying on the first hole. Now, we've followed Dustin
Cry.
for
I
many...
cry when he plays.
Yeah,
when Dustin plays.
many rounds.
Yeah.
She was so excited to play there.
Yeah.
It was so surreal. It was just incredible. It was over the top. So there's no question, Augusta.
No, there's not even a close second.
But
Made you
I've played
emotional.
St. Andrews and Pebble Beach, and they're pretty fun.
I'm
but-
from Pebble, Monterey. That's
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I got to play with Dustin, Jake Owen,
Mike Weir.
and Jordan Spieth for 5 years. It was over the top. It was so unbelievable. And I was so nervous every shot. I was like, oh my gosh. But
Do you
those
think
guys
they were nervous playing with you?
No. Jordan and Dustin, no. Jake, no. I think they were fine. I was not feeling good. Trust me.
question. Are
And
you?
there's 30,000 people on every hole.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And Dustin be like, he calls me Doc. Doc, just hit it down the middle. I go, well, what do you think I'm trying to do?
Are you allowed? It's kind of like the Stanley Cup. If you didn't win it, you're not allowed to touch it. Are you allowed to put on the green jacket, or is that
did.
like?
I did.
Oh,
We both did.
you guys are
You
like,
got the- no. So this is a
we
great.
were on the plane on
this is
the
a
way
great-
home.
yeah.
I was wearing it.
No, it's
We
a
were all
great
wearing
story
it
because we were on the way home from Augusta,
after he won.
and I said to him, I said, I never won a Stanley Cup on the road. I didn't know what it was like to lift the trophy on the airplane and fly home and do all that. And we had the green jacket on the plane, and both Janet and I put it on. He was like, yeah, put it on. And Janet put it on, then I put it on. And then I walked into his house, and my daughter had thrown him a party, and everybody was at his house at 11 o'clock at night. And he had his green jacket on his golf bag at the front door. And I said, Dustin, that's the green jacket. We got to hide that. He goes, no, nobody's going to take it. But it was so cool to put it on. And I
think
remember
that,
it said,
that was his favorite.
Yeah,
of
I remember-
course, win.
I remember saying to him on the plane, this is one of the greatest days of my life, that I didn't get a chance to enjoy this on the road as a Stanley Cup champion. And Janet and I both felt so much part of it because he's so nice.
Yeah.
And he made us feel part of it. And he's like, no, put it on. And
He's the nicest
Yeah.
of them all. Like of all, I mean, we've met a lot of great athletes, a lot of great golfers.
Yeah.
A lot. They're all generally very, very nice people. But Dustin is
surreal. Yeah, he's
Aw.
so
good
nice.
as you get.
Yeah. So we were lucky enough to be on the plane and put the jacket on. It was pretty cool.
I mean, that's a beautiful family moment.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It was one of the cutest moments is when he came home because it was during COVID. So we could only be we had a house across the street from Augusta. So, of course Paulina was with him, but we were with the boys, the two little boys at the time at the house. And so when he came home after all the press and all the hoopla of him winning, of course he came home and those little boys ran out the steps. We have film of them
Oh.
running, and jumping in his arms. That
pretty
was,
cool.
it was pretty great. Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We've been pretty lucky.
Who would play each of you in a movie? Cast each other.
Well, Janet knows my favorite ever was Anne Margaret. So Anne Margaret would play Janet.
But your favorite current?
No.
I know.
Yeah.
going with my favorite.
He loves Margot Robbie.
Love her too.
Yep. Yeah. We all have.
Anne Margaret.
It's not to love.
Anne Margaret's my favorite by far.
Okay.
Okay.
And so I got a chance to meet Anne Margaret at the speaking engagement.
Geez, stop waiting. Enough already.
Okay.
We
Well,
love
just so
we
you know, I
love a
get it.
story.
Yeah, we love it.
Okay.
Who would play Wayne?
Who's
Yeah.
gonna play Wayne?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well-
God, I can't wait to hear this one.
If I could be in it with him, it'd be Daniel Craig.
Oh,
Perfect.
I love. That's a great. Yeah.
Well, maybe there's a
I don't
remake
think I'm going to be. I don't think I'm going to be the next James Bond. Okay.
in your own form. You
He's
are.
playing Wayne Gretzky.
I know.
There you go, Janet. It's your next gig.
Yeah.
With-
Daniel.
with Daniel Craig.
All right, I'm done. You guys. All
right, we have-
I did the intro and I did the XO.
The outro. We appreciate
Good luck to you
it.
girls. Well, let me say goodbye. Good luck to you girls. Love your show. Good for you guys.
Thank you.
And there he goes.
All right, we'll get back to the real
He acts
heavy
like
hitters.
he didn't love it. He acts like he didn't love it.
He loved every minute of it. He loved it. He loves your show.
I loved every minute of
Okay,
it.
Wayne.
I'll walk by your booth at TNT at the game and wave hello in person.
He'll bring you on.
Oh,
my God, so-
no, I do not need. I will have 4 kids in tow. I do not need to
He'll
be
bring them all on.
involved in
That's
a
what he
national
does.
broadcast.
Who are your boys? I mean, they didn't. Yeah, of course they didn't know who Wayne is, but who's their favorite player now?
Well, they are in every team that Jeff plays on. There's obviously their favorite players, but of course, like my oldest
Wait, how
loves.
old is your oldest?
My oldest is 10. He
Oh.
loves Cale McCarr. He
Oh,
thinks
yeah.
he is very which I'm like a very wonderful player to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, they all just have different players, but of course they know everything about what my oldest is like a stat guy, and he goes and he researches and loves all that, and he loves baseball, so he kind of
Oh.
does all the research on all
You know
ends.
who we
and-
met? You know who we met a couple weeks ago at the FIFA when Wayne did the draw for football, soccer,
yeah.
right, for the World Cup. Was Aaron Judge.
Oh,
That like
Hot.
did you? Yeah.
yeah. Well, that, but
Really, really cute in person. Like
And just-
really, I'm like
all around
cute.
like stand up guy. Like I'm just like
Sweet too, like
Yes.
really, really sweet and engaging, and he's with his high school sweetheart.
it's they're amazing. The whole thing.
She's a doll. And
How tall are you, Janet? How tall?
5'9".
5'9". So you still
Or
were.
in heels, 5'10", 5'11". So I was almost 6 feet. I was fine with him.
But
Yeah.
he's
I
a
like-
giant, a
I
jolly
matched
giant.
each other perfectly. He's a doll.
That's
Yeah.
one person. Like when we're around athletes and things like that, like it's impressive to see everybody. But we all know how it is. I feel like if I saw Aaron Judge in person, because my son loves him so much, I would fangirl. So I'm like, this man is something special in the world of
I want to
baseball.
meet Otani.
Same. Yeah.
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 To me, he is the closest thing to me. I think he's the closest thing to Wayne. Like he's so special.
He's
Like,
going to do something
it's hard to
magical
be-
every
it's
time he's
hard
out
to,
there.
Like stand out, like because there's so many great baseball players,
Yeah.
that, like, you know, of all time. But what he's doing is
Yeah.
off the charts,
It's
Yeah.
right?
It's wild, like what
Yeah.
he has done for the sport. So
that's what, after they won the World Series, we were kind of talking about it on the podcast, Kat and I, and I'm like, I want to see Ohtani. I want to meet him, because all the montages on TikTok and Instagram of just like how funny and like his personality that they show in the dugout and things like that. You're just like, what a, like,
And the way he just, like, he bows to
He's
people.
so-
He's so respectful.
he's such a
But
presence.
the fact that he, you know, hits the way he does and pitches the way he does and
Yeah.
looks the way he does and he just handles himself, I think he's the closest thing to Wayne.
Yeah.
Like when I was watching him in the World Series.
Okay, what is one thing that Wayne does that makes you laugh the hardest?
When I think what's funny is when he's watching a show, I'll say to somebody, watch this. And if it's even a touch bit funny, he just horse laughs. You know what I mean? Like, he laughs so hard. I've been in theaters, you know, when people used to go to movies more, you could take him to a film and you'd almost have to leave because he's laughing so hard. I love the fact when people can laugh like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You know, when people laugh, or if he's telling a joke, he'll laugh before the joke's out. He'll laugh at himself. and it's like, you've probably seen it on TNT or in interviews and everything. Haven't you seen him laugh?
Oh, yeah.
And his mom was like that. Like, they're laughers.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm kind of jealous of. I wish I could just be like a real, like, out loud laugher like that. It takes a lot for me to laugh, but I love it when I laugh. But he laughs all the time.
Okay, there is nothing better than an infectious laugher when
Yeah.
like you
Yeah,
said it
right?
makes everyone like the TNT desk
Like, you
probably.
can't tell a joke without laughing.
I saw a clip of him on the desk with Biz, and he was making everyone laugh, and like Biz like couldn't control his laughter back at him. So you can tell.
And then they get going.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good
funny.
thing.
That
I
is
was
so
like
funny.
laughing.
And in the world we live in today, it's fun to see people laugh.
What is the greatest thing about Wayne? But I feel like you've answered it in so many wonderful ways. But if you could sum it up, what is
Greatest.
the greatest thing about your twin?
Is that him bringing in the trash can? It's like so loud.
Probably that he brings in the trash.
What's my favorite thing about Wayne is that when I look at Wayne now, at this age, and all the years we've been together, I sometimes look at him like I'll like find myself staring at him, going, "Oh, you remember when he was 10 or 15 or like 5? He was a little boy, you know what I mean? And he was so innocent, and he had this before this big life came to him, right? And I think he's still very, in a way, innocent, you know. And I think that's what I love most about him. He's pretty raw, you know, like he's pretty, probably so humble. Like, people, I think, what are the most amazed about when they meet Wayne is that he's just a normal guy, just a regular guy. He's not what he's supposed to be, like the GOAT and untouchable. And he's so giving of himself, I think,
Yeah.
to everyone.
Well, it's apparent, again, because of just the conversation we've had with you and his time that he's given to us. You guys have been more than gracious to fit us into
He's
this.
really good with people. Like, he's so giving of himself. Like, he wants you guys to succeed.
You can tell.
You know, and do well and have fun with this, and anything to help, you know.
Well, it's
Yeah,
I'm
speechless.
just, that is so, it's humbling for us, because here we are, we're just trying to give a different light into the NHL.
Well, you
And
guys are doing a great job, and keep going and keep doing it and have fun with it, and
thank you.
fun stories to
And just
life.
having somebody like you and in step having Wayne sit in, it means the world to us, that this is even a thought to put in your calendar in the first place. So we just appreciate it so much, and are always going to be rooting for Team Gretzky in every avenue y'all are in.
Thank you. Well, that means a lot, and that means a lot, and right back at you. And let's bring in 2026 and have a great one.
Okay, so we're back with Never Offside, and we are a little stunned because we did not prepare for Wayne to sit in and start the convo. Really wish we had prepped a little bit for that.
Yeah, I'm still my heartbeat is still calming from that situation, and I froze and called him Mr. Gretzky. Yeah, I felt so like I was in royalty, like I was in the presence of royalty there. So that was like my starstruck moment, and that's what came out of my mouth.
I cannot wait to watch that back. Honestly, you're gonna have to. Julie normally listens and doesn't watch. I normally watch and don't listen. So Julie's got to watch this time.
I will watch.
I need to see.
We were not expecting Janet running a little bit late, so Wayne was her stand-in. He was doing creative direction, setting up the camera before we even started rolling.
Lighting.
That man, and we learned that he was the wedding planner.
Yeah.
He loves soap operas. Wayne is just like us. Stars just like us.
Yeah, he's like a producer. He's
Oh
like
my
a
gosh.
at-home producer. That's like such a
Amazing.
fun.
The further that conversation went in, the more comfortable I got. And I just honestly, the humility and normalness like sept, is that a word?
Yeah.
Seeped through,
Yeah.
whatever it is. I'm brain dead now. The sun is setting here in South Florida, and my lighting is getting terrible, but it is all worth it.
Yeah,
that
sorry, we
was,
chatsied a little long, guys, but
yeah, sorry. Put us on 1.4 speed. That will get you through it a little bit quicker. That's what I do on the regular, anyways. But just so fun, and just so those, like, they have lived so many lives within one, and just to see how they do it with such a big family and staying together, and just I mean, Wayne came in, her hollering to him to answer some questions that she couldn't like think of the answer right away. She couldn't remember her name. Like
Wayne!
that's the best. Like we're yelling to our husbands half the time. Like, you know,
it was funny when he mentioned the outdoor game at Dodger Stadium, because I actually had worked with him there.
Yeah.
But it's funny because that was before I was with Ty, so I wasn't in the hockey world. So it was funny talking to him in this setting versus working with him back then.
I'm gonna
I don't
go
know.
give him a big hug if I see him if I see him at the game on the second.
You should. I know.
I'm
Honestly.
gonna go up to the TNT set and be like, Wayne, Mr. Gretzky.
Big flex to your
What
husband
should
and
I
the
call
entire
him?
team.
Should I call him Doc?
99. Just be
99.
like, what up, 99? That's
Anyways,
funny.
that is hilarious.
Well, great timing too this week with the outdoor game. So
Yeah.
tea time.
Tea
Do you
time.
have any idea what the outfits are going to be?
I do. I know exactly what they're going to be. And my husband actually tried his on this morning to make sure it fit.
Do we approve? Do we like is it, can we give any? Like,
I
is
don't
it
want to be the one that like ruins
Yeah.
it.
Okay, fine.
But
is it
yeah,
funny or is it like cool?
it's perfect.
Okay. 'Cause,
And
you know,
if
like,
they execute another part of it that we'll talk about post reveal, it's gonna be epic.
yeah, I mean, we'll talk about we'll talk about it next week.
So, and what people don't know, like the guys dress really funny for these outdoor games. The whole team dresses like as a theme or whatever. I'm
normally
more curious of like what New York is gonna do. Anyways,
'Cause it's normally themed to where you're playing, not where you're from. Like it's normally like
yes,
when we were.
it can be.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, it's really good. It's really, really good. And that's all I'm gonna say. It's
Okay,
really
well,
good.
I'm excited to talk about it. One other thing going on in the NHL right now that you are blissfully unaware of because you don't go on Twitter, but I just always have to tell you what's going on, is the NHL follow tracker. It's a thing.
Yeah, you talk about that in our chat all the time, and I am like, what is happening?
Because it is crazy. I need to know more about how this like
somebody has too much time on their hands.
is it a team of people? Like what is it? Because they're down to the minute of it happening. I think it's kind of funny because I actually made it today or yesterday.
You made a follow?
Yeah, I made a follow because
my
Klingberg
gosh.
on this team followed me. So it's crazy because, and you can even, Ty's made it a few times of unfollowing things. So it is it's correct. It's factually correct. But I just think it's kind of crazy because
Get a
what if-
life. Like, sorry, whoever's doing this is.
yeah, but you know me and my humor. I think it's just so insanely funny. But I just
You're
can't.
you're telling all the youngins, like, be careful.
I am telling them.
They're watching.
I'm telling them that they're being watched. I have warned everyone in terms of even if you're unfollowing somebody, say it's like a family member. It's gonna be out there.
So it's just it's just NHL players. Like, this is only focused on the NHL. Some like super fan.
It's all day, every day on Twitter, and it's anytime an NHL player follows or unfollows, it's tweeted, and
But
it's
it's only the
factually correct.
NHL.
Yeah, well, there's probably other ones, but like I've never seen something like this before. It almost seems like an app. Maybe they have an app. They probably do. Because remember there was those apps like back in the beginning of Instagram.
Kat, these people, I'm sorry, they have too much time on their hands and
Well-
whatever coding that they've made. It's like,
Just imagine though, I'm happy I made it on the follow list and not an unfollow. Because imagine it was like, oh, like Jeff Petrie unfollowed Kat Toffoli. I'd be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So like that's
that
where
doesn't even know how to go on Instagram anymore. It's
but
like
friendships might be ruined by
I'm gonna
this.
actually, maybe I will do that to see if it like pops up and you can report back.
Unfollow
like,
me and unfollow me again.
Yeah.
I'll just tell, like, I'll screenshot that Jeff.
that
unfollowed
this is
me.
crazy. Whatever. This isn't even. We shouldn't even give this news.
I'm giving it news because it's drama around the holidays.
Drama.
So it's just we're such a family.
Drama.
Yeah, we're such a family. So again, I've warned everyone on at least the
Do you see
Sharkies.
the sun has set here?
Okay, yeah,
Like,
you gotta go. All right.
I gotta wrap it up. Happy New Year to everybody. We will come back with a full report on this outdoor game in South Florida, the Winter Classic on January 2nd. Florida Panthers versus the New York Rangers. I will have a firsthand account. I'm going to try to be really good at documenting things, and we'll post some on Never Outside Pod. I
Tag
don't know.
us.
We'll show whatever. I'm going to bring my new little retro camera. I'm going to film some stuff, and I think the boys are going to do some cute things
Cute.
at the game. One of them's going to have like a GoPro on his head at the family skate.
I love it. Oh, the family skate is so much fun. Have so much fun.
It's the most fun thing about the whole thing, really.
It is. It really. The game goes by in a second. Like
The
it's
game
really
is like,
Yeah. game.
So,
game,
anyways, we cannot thank you guys enough for listening and hanging along for this episode alone. It's going to be our record,
Yeah, it's
like
gonna be long,
longest
sorry.
standing. We wanted to go out with a long episode for
And
you.
the next episode that we shoot is going to be literally our 1 year anniversary since Scary.
Oh,
like it's going to,
shoot.
yeah, that was January 6th of last year. So
It's
it's
going to
my
be to the day
I
that we
think so,
record
something
that,
like
I think.
that.
Yeah, that's wild.
so
Anyways,
it'll be happy 1 year to
yeah, so we're going to come in 2026. But thank you again. I think just the whole thing is gratitude. I still am shocked every day. Somebody at the Panthers game the other night came up to me at warm-ups and was like, I love your podcast so much. And I just was genuinely shocked of like, oh my
crazy.
gosh. I'm just like, people actually listen and like this. And anyways, fast forward, we've rambled way too long. I just thank you. So Happy New Year. Kat, I'll maybe see you on the flip side and
Crack it to Foley time for New
send,
Year's
send
Eve.
us a case. Jeff needs to try that. Toffoli time Pilsner.
Tis the season.
Tis
Happy
the
New Year.
season. Love it. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you in 2026.
See ya.